Picture this. You're standing in the endless queue at the supermarket checkout, that fluorescent-lit theater of despair where dreams go to die under the weight of impulse buys. The conveyor belt groans with your trolley full of essentials, those sneaky little add-ons that whisper, "You deserve this," from the end caps. Ahead of you is Sarah, a single mom juggling two jobs, her face etched with the exhaustion of someone who's been budgeting like a religion for years. She's meticulously scanning her list on her phone, crossing off items, her basket a fortress of store-brand basics and zero indulgences. But watch her eyes dart to the chocolate bars by the till. She hesitates, then grabs one. Just this once, you can almost hear her think, as the total ticks over her mental limit. Now shift your gaze to Mike, right behind her. He's the bloke with the sharp suit, scrolling through his investment app while his trolley overflows with premium organic nonsense and gadgets he needs for his side hustle. Mike doesn't budget. He optimizes his cash flow with credit cards that promise rewards he'll never redeem. He chuckles at Sarah's frugality, thinking he's got it all figured out, but his bank app pings with another overdraft alert hidden under notifications.
Sarah's scraping by on minimum wage, her budget a lifeline that's fraying thread by thread. Mike's pulling in six figures but drowning in lifestyle inflation, his success bleeding him dry faster than he can earn. Both are trapped in the same rigged game, where budgeting promises salvation but delivers chains. One slips because survival demands flexibility she can't afford, the other because abundance breeds entitlement. And here's the kicker. The system loves it this way, turning diligent savers into perpetual spenders. My name is Warren, and I spend way too much time obsessing over the invisible strings that corporations pull to drain your wealth. Today, we're ripping apart why budgeting fails the people who need it most, those on the edge, where one wrong move means ruin. Buckle up. This isn't fluffy advice. It's a forensic takedown. Let's torch this sacred cow called budgeting, shall we? For generations, we've been fed the script. Track every penny, cut the lattes, and freedom awaits. It's the lie boomers parroted from their parents who got it from post-war austerity gurus. But peel back the layers, and it's not wisdom. It's a systemic trap engineered to keep you consuming, not owning. Budgeting isn't your savior. It's the velvet glove on the corporate fist siphoning your earnings.
The mathematical reality? Budgeting assumes a level playing field. But for low-income folks, the ones who truly need it, it's like handing a leaky bucket to someone in a desert. You plug one hole, rent, and three more bursts. Unexpected bills, inflation spikes. A forensic audit of household finances reveals the ugly truth. 80% of low-wage workers live payday to payday, not because they're reckless, but because the system's rigged against them. Wages stagnate while costs explode. Housing up 50% in a decade, groceries inflating at 5 to 10% annually. Budgeting preaches discipline, but ignores how poverty taxes the brain, leaving no bandwidth for long-term planning. Now, the origin story? This trap traces back to the early 20th century, when consumer credit exploded, courtesy of the FIBAS cartel. That's my nickname for the unholy alliance of banks like Barclays and retailers like Marks & Spencer. Post-WW2, they pushed installment plans as liberation, but it was planned obsolescence in disguise. Think General Motors in the 1920s, confessing to annual model changes not for innovation, but to make your car feel outdated, forcing upgrades. Budgeting advice? It came from the same playbook. Financial experts, funded by lenders, peddled envelopes and spreadsheets, knowing full well they'd fail under pressure, driving people into debt products. It's no accident. It's extraction by design. Corporations don't want you solvent. They want you dependent. Your budget a facade crumbling under their engineered temptations. By framing budgeting as infallible, they've confiscated your agency. For the vulnerable, it fails hardest. A single emergency, medical bill, car repair, obliterates months of scrimping. The lie persists because it shifts blame to you. You just didn't stick to it, while the invisible strings pull tighter.
All right, let's dive into the psychological glitch that makes budgeting a farce for those who need it most. It's not laziness, it's hardwired human wiring, weaponized by corporate overlords to extract every last quid.
The core exploit? The hedonic treadmill, that insidious loop where your happiness baseline resets after any gain or loss. You get a raise, expenses magically inflate to match. New car, bigger flat, leaving you no better off. For low-income earners, this treadmill spins faster because survival mode amplifies it. Scraping by dulls joy, so small indulgences feel like necessities, derailing budgets in a heartbeat. But corporations don't stop there. They manage your pain with dark patterns. Enter Parkinson's law. Expenses rise to meet income, no matter how meager. Marketing teams know this glitch intimately. They weaponize your ego through upselling. That premium option isn't better. It's a decoy to make the mid-tier seem reasonable. Picture the decoy effect in action. A budget phone at 200 pounds, a fancy one at 800 pounds, and a decoy at 750 that's inferior. Suddenly, 800 feels like value, and your careful budget evaporates. For the needy, it's brutal. The Diderot effect kicks in hardest here. One upgrade, new shoes for work, spirals into a chain, matching outfit, bag, then accessories, because nothing feels cohesive anymore. Corporations engineer this by bombarding you with ads that prey on insecurity. Upgrade your life, they whisper, but it's code for bleed your wallet. They use scarcity tactics, limited time offers, to hijack your fear of missing out, forcing impulse buys that shatter fragile budgets. Psychologically, low-income folks face decision fatigue amplified by stress hormones, making resistance futile. Marketers exploit this, turning budgeting into a Sisyphean task. They don't sell products, they sell illusions of control. Knowing the treadmill will reset, the law will expand, and the decoy will lure. It's not your fault. It's a rigged psyche hack, extracting wealth while you chase equilibrium. Time for the brutal audit. Let's wield the scalpel on why budgeting betrays the vulnerable, using cold, hard numbers to expose the mathematical inevitability of failure. We'll calculate opportunity costs and real hourly wages, revealing how small slips confiscate your future. First, the opportunity cost massacre. Suppose you're on 12 pounds an hour minimum wage, budgeting religiously but cracking for a 5-pound daily coffee just to cope. Over 30 years, working life, that's 1,300 pounds annually. Compounded at a conservative 7% return, stock market average, it balloons to 126,000 pounds lost in potential wealth. But for low earners, it's worse. That coffee isn't indulgence, it's decompression from soul-crushing shifts. Scale it up. A 20-pound monthly streaming sub, 38,000 pounds evaporated over 3 decades. Now imagine the needy. Emergencies force 100-pound fixes monthly. Bus fares, kids' uniform. Compounded, 190,000 pounds siphoned, enough for a house deposit or retirement nest. Budgeting fails because it ignores this compounding theft. Corporations extract pennies that multiply into fortunes denied. Enter the real hourly wage, the forensic gut punch from your money or your life. Gross 12 pounds an hour? Subtract taxes, 20% effective. Commute, 50 pounds a week or 2 pounds an hour equivalent. Work clothes, 500 pounds a year or 50 pence an hour. And decompression spending, that coffee, 1 pound an hour, averaged. Your real wage? 7 pounds an hour. For the precarious, add childcare, 3 pounds an hour, net, or side gig burnout, plummeting to 5 pounds an hour. Budgeting on gross is delusion. It's like planning a siege with half the supplies. A budgeted 10-pound grocery shop? In reality, it costs 20 real hours, nearly 3 days of freedom confiscated. Let's audit a typical low-income budget. 1,500 pounds monthly take-home. Rent, 800 pounds, 53%. Food, 300 pounds, 20%. Utilities, 200 pounds, 13%. Transport, 100 pounds, 7%. Leftover, 100 pounds, until inflation hits 5%, eroding 75 pounds yearly. One glitch? Car repair, 200 pounds? Deficit. Over 10 years, unbudgeted extras average 500 pounds a year, compounding debt at 20% interest to 10,000 pounds, becoming 25,000 pounds owed. The system drowns you in fees, overdraft charges extracting 1 billion pounds annually from UK poor. The verdict? Budgeting's mathematical reality is systemic sabotage. For those needing it most, it's not a tool. It's a trap door to poverty's abyss, where opportunity costs bleed feed millions in unlived freedom. Enough deconstruction. Let's arm you for rebellion. This isn't guru babble, it's a framework to hack the system, turning their invisible strings into your slingshot. Frame it as small acts of defiance. Opt out of the cycle, buy back your freedom, and build a cash moat against the cartel. Start with the one income rule. Live entirely on one salary, or equivalent benefits if single. Bank the rest untouched. For low earners, this means ruthless prioritization. Cut non-essentials until you're solvent on 70% of inflow. It's rebellion because corporations bank on dual income dependency. By opting out, you starve their extraction machine. Next, erect a cash moat. Aim for 6 months' expenses in liquid savings, not in fancy apps, but cold cash or high-yield accounts. Use it to bridge emergencies without debt. Dodge £5,000 in interest over a decade. Hack? Automate transfers on payday before temptations strike. Then, deploy time buckets. Allocate your hours like fortress walls. Bucket 1, survival, work, chores. Minimize with efficiencies like batch cooking. Bucket 2, rebellion, skill building, side hustles. Turn decompression into income. Bucket 3, freedom, hobbies, family. Guard it fiercely. Track real hourly wage weekly. If a purchase costs more than 10 freedom hours, veto it. This weaponizes psychology against them. Counter the treadmill by anchoring joy to time, not stuff. Rebel practically. Forensic your subscriptions. Cancel all. Re-add only essentials. Shop with a pain list. Write what you'll sacrifice. Example, this gadget equals 50 hours overtime. Frame discipline as insurgency. Every saved quid is a vote against the Phoebus cartel, reclaiming sovereignty. For the needy, start micro. £10 weekly into a moat builds £500 yearly, compounding to security. This hacks the glitches. Bypass decoys by deciding in advance. Starve Diderot chains with delay rules. Wait 30 days per buy. It's not easy, but it's mathematical inevitability. Your ROI? Freedom from drowning. There you have it, the unvarnished truth on why budgeting betrays the vulnerable. Smash that like button and subscribe for more content that challenges how you think about money. I'll see you in the next one.